You may injure your hand right there. If you don't want to do that before a big fight. If you would, we got to set the whole thing up. So why don't you got you really in slow motion? Yes, slow mo. Just even a shot. Oh, I almost said you're right. Like it's going fast motion. But the fall. So, sir, how's it going?
Well, we're getting back to straight, so we're good there. You said on the video. So what we could, why don't you guys get going? Intro the intro.
Did you already get the whole?
Yeah, and then you guys actually intro the intro, and we'll play it that way.
Come on, Ted.
Say please.
Now. If not,
Like that. Say nice.
Ted, come on. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm good. I don't need you. I got the start of the show right there. We good. We good. Let's do it. We are back. Real Talk 360. It's been a little bit of a hiatus. Well, we've been off since September, but we're good. And as you can see, I'm by myself because I had a fire. Oh, there he is. Wow, look at him. There he is. He's back. Yeah, that's the camera right there, Ty.
I see them, they're in there.
That's the camera. They're in there? Who's in there?
Everybody.
Everybody's in there. They're watching.
Everybody's in there
watching.
Is this the chalk
So,
table?
yes. So welcome back, everybody that's out there watching right now. We want to thank you for tuning in. I know we've been blasting it on Facebook. We've been blasting it on Twitter. We've been blasting it on Instagram. Right now, if you haven't heard about it, then it's your own fault. You need to get on social media. Stop pretending like you're not, because we know you are. Get on it. Udicci.TV. Road Talk 360, and this is where we're at. So this is a new set for those that watched the show last year.
New season.
New season, 2015. We're coming back strong. We're coming back big. Look around.
We're not even drinking liquor no more. We're drinking gasoline.
We're drinking gasoline straight from the bottle. So that's something that's changed. But as you can see, we're here. We're back. Look right behind us. We got boxing gloves right there. And why do you think we have boxing gloves? Why do we have boxing gloves?
Because it's basketball month.
Yes, it's March Madness. And in March Madness, what we do is we bring
Basketball
boxing.
gloves.
Or basketball gloves.
They're basketball gloves.
They're basketball gloves because they
It's a new
help you
sport.
dribble.
It's a new
They help you
sport.
dribble. They help you dribble. That's true. At least Tiger's wearing the appropriate attire. We got the Yankees, so we're going to be strong on that. Chuck, how we looking on the intro video?
Oh, you're expecting me to do this?
Well, you're behind.
Yeah.
See, so we have...
See, this is why I wanted to renegotiate my contract with my agent, because I told him I did not want to start a full season like this.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. We have new production behind the boards. I just seen, is that Pretty Girl Productions own Mercedes Vasquez? Yeah, I see her in the background with Mama. Bendición, ¿cómo está? So yeah, it's going down. We got. I was gonna say we outnumbered by Latinos because we had two Dominicans, Milton and Joel, in the house. But then now Mercedes and Mom Dukes came through, so we're good. We outnumber the Dominicanos, so we're good.
We got a Cuban, two Dominicans, and five Puerto Ricans.
5 Puerto Ricans, so we're good. We're okay. But yeah, so this year we hope to bring you the best of the best. And what better way to start that off? What better way to start off 2015 than with the man, the myth, the legend?
Tag one.
Yes, and on top of that, the future middleweight champion of the world.
Say that again.
The future
It had like next to the ring.
middleweight champion of the world, Willie and Mongoose Monroe Jr. So we're about to do it up. What we're going to do is to start off the show officially is we're going to bring in our intro.
That was Tim that needed 30 seconds. I need like 14.
Tim, can you please
Okay, hold on.
get back? Tim, now's not the time to chat. At 9 o'clock, you can chat. Oh, now Chuck has it. Now Chuck has it. So we're going to, hold up, before you put the intro in, we're going to bring the intro, and I want to give a shout out to my man, Franco. What? You still not? Chuck, get away. Chuck. 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 Yo, hold up.
This is why I quit drinking.
Yo, Joel, give him lessons on I'm not resisting. Tell him to back away. Tell him to back away. Hands up, back away.
Look, I'm not on camera.
That's the reason why I quit drinking, because I cannot deal with you under these certain situations.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's too stressful.
It's hard.
I get it.
Like,
My level of stress goes from 0 to 100.
for all you people out there, if you understand the pressure and the stress that we go through dealing with.
I almost didn't make this season. I said, I don't know.
But you know what? The money was right. The money was right. It was really good. 100% more than last year.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And 100% more than 0 is always going to be better than 0.
Absolutely.
So we're good. Tim, how are we doing over there? So we're going to play the intro.
We're coming.
We're going to play the intro.
I had it ready.
The intro, I want to give shouts out to Franco, Adrian Franco, premium rendition, because he put this thing together. And I hope y'all love it as much as I love it, as much as Tag loves it.
I'm really
Real Talk 360, this is how we start off. So let's go.
Wait.
Okay, hold up.
Where we go?
Hold up.
Wait, we went.
Hold up.
Come on, there we go.
Oh, don't look at the YouTube part. Don't look at the YouTube part.
What do you mean? I was good. Look at you too.
This is social media TV at its best. Can you
Enlarge
pump
it,
up? Can you pump
enlarge
it up? You know what? Rewind, selector, rewind. That's how we do it. No, we good.
I'm enjoying it. I love watching myself.
Tip, not too long after that, you're going to cue in the champion song, Ryan Brother Highlights. So, video number 1 and song number 1.
Real Talk 360.
And there we go. You have it right there, our first official intro. Hopefully Adrian is loading up the outro as we speak.
Next season, our goal is to have like a stand-in band, like
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna have the Roots. We're gonna have no, we're not gonna do the Roots because we're Rochester. We're gonna have next level. We're gonna have Bonitillo right here performing live for us.
We'll have a band doing our intro.
That's next season.
And every time somebody comes in,
So right now we're here. We're back. I'm amped because this is someone that we interviewed last year, and it was funny that we interviewed him right before the semifinals to the Boxino tournament, ESPN's Boxino tournament. He came off of a great win in Indiana, and he came back home with the Turning Stone, and went up against an undefeated 23-0
very
Kopalenko,
tough.
Vitaly Kopalenko. And I remember specifically, I still remember to this day, everybody basically saying he doesn't stand a chance. Willie doesn't really have, the punching power. He doesn't have what it takes to beat somebody like Vitaly Kopalenko. And we all know what happened because he just ran right through him like it never happened.
I remember watching that and I was like, this he's a little bit bigger than him.
Yeah.
He was trying. He was getting through his first few rounds. I'm like, Woody got his hands full, but then Woody stood there with his composure, worked through the end, and the dude.
He did what Willie does. And then after that, he had to fight Brandon Adams. Brandon Adams, I respect him. I follow him on Facebook. He is a stand-up dude. I know that him and Willie, from what Willie had told me, they built a good relationship. At the end, I remember Brandon Adams actually grabbed Willie's son, and they on TV, and it was like family. So it was definitely bittersweet in the sense that, he was a good guy that he beat, but he beat somebody who was undefeated once again, who he was expected to lose to. And now we're going to interview him when he's about to face the biggest challenge of his career. So we're going to let him talk about this more than we're going to talk about it because we're not going to be in the ring with him. Willie is.
No, but I'm going to be biting my nails onto the nub.
Oh yeah, trust me. So if you can, Maestro, please cue in that champion song, and then you could also cue in. You could probably do both with the footage. Let's do that, and we're going to basically bring on the man of the hour, everybody that you've been waiting for. The next middleweight champion of the world.
Willie Jr. grew up around boxing. In fact, his great uncle beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler. That's Willie the Worm Monroe. So, Willie Monroe Jr. knows what boxing is all about. He knows how big this opportunity is tonight.
Rock City, 585.
World heavyweight champion.
Let's go. Amazing.
and final fight of the night from Boxino 2014. Willie Monroe Jr. and Donatas Mondas. At 161 pounds, we've already had 3 TKOs so far. Will we see another knockout next?
You know we gotta do it. It's a bunch of fights that can be made. I know a lot.
They thought I was finished, but look, I just came back, buzz heavy enough to make a car frame crack. I'm knocking lanes out, leave they face flat. When that bell ring, I transform into Rocky like ASAP. And these critics steady be hating, they saying I'll never make it. I use it as motivation, cause I am one of the greatest. Don't judge me, you don't know my story. And I can feel it in my guts that I'm destined for glory. Look, don't nobody work harder because this music's a part of me, like it's one of my arteries. First, they was ignoring me, listen, now they be calling me. But if they want a verse like the ATM, now I charge a fee. And you can try to defeat me, but you won't do it, cause I'm the champ like Willie Monroe Jr. And if you thinking otherwise, you beyond foolish. So pay attention, I can quickly show you how I do it, champion. And that's why I'm going hard when I feel like I'm gon' fall. I just stand up tall, I'm a champion. I'm defying all the odds, still a winner even when I take a loss. Look at me, I'm a champion. A champion, believe I'm a champion. A champion, believe I'm a champion. Hold that. I got my team, yeah, I don't need nothing to believe I'm the real deal. Nothing like y'all imposters. I got a lot of punches and more hooks than a boxer. I be jumping on these tracks, snapping like a lobster. Spitting shit so sick like Dre, I think I need a doctor. Haters be skeptical till you prove them wrong. They neglect you till you show them you special as unicorns. That's why I give it my all whenever I do a song. Cause for my city I'm putting on like a uniform. With y'all I witnessing is history in the making. Keep it real while they be faking. With my faith in God and my eyes wide open looking out for Satan. When you up be trying to bring you down. That's why I come out the corner swinging hard every round. Now they know my name cause I done been around. See I'm above y'all clowns like I'm in the clouds. And if you thinking otherwise, you beyond foolish. But pay attention, I can quickly show you how I know this champion. And that's why I'm going hard when I feel like I'm gon' fall. I just stand up tall, I'm a champion. And I'm defying all the odds, still a winner even when I take a loss.
Unanimous decision, and still the NBA.
We good. So, welcome on the air. Welcome on the air right about in 3, 2, but that look good though. Look at that. That look good right there. Oh, Mom Dukes. There we go. Now we have Willie on the air. What's good, my brother? Once again.
What's good?
Once again. So we obviously just watched your last fight, Brian Vera. So what we're gonna do is today we're gonna backtrack a little bit. All right. So we're gonna start at the end, but we're gonna start at the beginning. Right. The beginning being Willie Monroe Jr., the child.
Right.
You came up obviously in a boxing family. So for those out there that might not know, that might not have seen, give us a little background as to the Willie Monroe pedigree.
Started with my great-grandfather, my great-grandfather, as you guys know, is Afro-Cuban. And my grandfather, who's his son, my grandfather would tell me stories about how him and his dad, we used to just walk for miles just to stand outside someone's house and listen to fights on the radio, no TV back then. And all of the boys boxed. Like, that's how they kept things squared away around the house, you know. 8 boys, 8 girls, all of the boys fought. And my grandfather was the premier fighter in the family, and then he got injured in his amateur career, so they started training his little brother, who ended up being the best fighter out of all of them, which is Willie the Worm.
Willie the Worm.
Who everybody talks about, who ended up beating Marvin Hagler. When my grandfather had his firstborn son, he named his firstborn son after his brother that he taught how to fight, who was my father. Then I was named after my father. And my father was an awesome middleweight contender in the 90s. And here I am. So
here you are. So this is generation after generation. This is not just something that one day you decided, you know what, this boxing thing looks cool. I mean, this is already, you were born with this in your blood.
Yeah, I knew how to box before I knew how to walk.
There you go. And you know what? What's funny is that I can definitely see that in your son. I see that in Gabriel. I see that in him because he's already. I come up to him and he already like he cocks back, and I'm like, no, I just want to say what's up, you know. And he's only 2 years old, 3 years old, 2 years old. And when I came up to him last Saturday, he cocked back, and I'm like, oh, I hope he don't hit me. I hope he don't hit me. But
now, is that something you will be okay with? If when the time comes, would you be okay with your son boxing? I know how some athletes are not okay with their kids going through like football or you know some of those more full contact sports.
Well, if my son wanted to fight, I would never tell my son. You know, I would never discourage him and make him feel that he couldn't do it. And if it's something he really wanted to do, I mean, I would have to stand by him 100% because that's what my grandparents did for me. At the same time, there is a part of me that doesn't want him to fight because I'm in this game and I know what it takes. And I know how dirty the game could be, you know. And he's, you know, at age 2, he's very athletic all over the place. So if I can channel that athleticism into another sport, say baseball, football or something, you know, where he's guaranteed a certain amount of money, education.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's cool, but if he just really, you know, if there's a dire needing to fight, I can't take his last name is Monroe. I can't take that.
No, and he's already, you know what I mean? And from what I've heard, he watches you on TV, he mimics you. He's already there, so it's something that, you know, that's a beautiful thing though, because you know our kids learn from what they see, and what they're seeing they're seeing their dad competing and winning and doing his thing.
I try to set an example.
And that's what it is, man. So definitely much
Good.
props.
Wait, hold on. You like our new set, by the way?
Yeah, I like this new set, man.
And it's still the words you comfy. That's what we wanted right there. Be comfortable, so you're good. No, you color coordinate. Come on. He's not only. Hold on. He's not only a boxer. He's also a model. He's also an actor. You are an actor. You can't put on that one.
Did that movie come out yet?
You can't.
Nah, July.
So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about that a little bit as well. But right now, okay. So obviously the pedigree is there. You grew up. You know, it's in your blood.
Right.
So what made you, let's say, let's fast forward a little bit. You're 8, 9, 10 years old.
Right.
At that time, what are you thinking? I mean, besides the little normal kids things, is your mind on boxing already?
My mind's on boxing, but I can honestly say around that age is where I got to know God for real.
Okay.
Because it was only God that could protect me from the work that my grandfather was putting me through.
All right.
So, you know, it turned into days of, oh, God, please, Jesus, don't let it be so hard today, because my grandfather was very hard on me. But at that age, you know, I just ended up soaking up a lot of knowledge because my grandfather, he always instilled in me that you only get out of this what you put into it. And if you want something you never had, you got to do something you never. Actually, if you see on the T-shirt, the Team Monroe T-shirt, my grandpa used to always say it's hard, but it's fair. And I never understood it when I was younger. When I got older, you know, it made sense. You know, to be great is hard, but it's fair. You know what I mean? If you want ordinary results, you use ordinary methods. If you want extraordinary results, you use extraordinary methods. So, you know, between around the ages of 10, 11 was when I really started to soak up the knowledge of being a smart fighter and using a real skillful style, because at that age, 10, 11-year-old kids, you know, they come to the recreation center, they throw in the gloves, they learn how to box. That's like baptism by fire. They just learn on the way. You know, I had the convenience of my grandfather who taught boxing. So when I stepped into the boxing world, you know, as an 8, 9, 10-year-old, I had a totally different perception and outlook on what boxing was. It was a chess match to me at 9 and 10 when it was fun for other kids at 9 and 10.
So that's how serious you were.
Exactly.
And that's that Monroe pedigree. That's that Monroe bloodline.
My grandfather said, if you're going to do this, you know, you're going to listen to me. You know what I mean? I am your parent, I'm your guardian, you're going to listen. And we're not going to do this if we're not going to be the best.
All right.
Well, that story, you can see that a lot with a lot of boxers today. A lot of boxers are being trained by their uncle or their father or someone that, you know, either they got to a point where they couldn't go any further for whatever reason, injury or whatever, and they say, you know what?
They channeled that.
Yeah, they channel that through their kid or their nephew or somebody or whoever they're training. But, you know, it's usually, look at Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach wasn't that successful as a boxer, but he had that mind. Yeah, exactly.
To be one
like the top trainer.
To be the top trainer in the world.
Yep.
So definitely, and that happens for baseball. That happens, you know, in every sport. Is, you know, if that's the sport that you did and that's the sport that you were really attracted to, then that's what happens. So let me ask you, your first fight. What age were you? Your first fight. The first time you ever laced up the gloves and actually fought competitively? Not professionally.
Amateur?
Competitively.
I like 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
6, yeah,
All right.
it's like 6 or 7.
So was that chess at that time, or was that more just let me slip up the gloves and let me see what I can do?
Well,
like when did it become chess?
Well, I lost my first 2 amateur fights.
Okay.
So it became serious after that, and that's when my grandfather said, "Hey, I got something special," because my first day in the gym when I sparred, I got beat up. We didn't wear headgear. I got beat all the way up to a brick wall. Got my head knocked up against the wall. Okay. And I was crying, but I was saying I'm gonna be back tomorrow. And my grandpa said, "This boy crazy like me." You know what I mean?
That's great right there.
You know what I mean? He said, like, I can work with this. And after losing my first 2 amateur fights, my whole thing was to get back. And that's when I started learning that, it's not just a war of attrition, but it's mentally too. So that's when I started adopting a style, you know what I mean? Okay. That became the Willie Monroe style, which is, as of now.
And what's funny, I seen that in that one fight, not the last one, the one with the...
Not with Brian Vera, but with Brandon Adams?
The guy that we just seen the highlights on.
That's Brian Vera.
Yeah, him.
That was the last fight.
Because I'll tell you the truth, that was, I started to see visions of Tito Trinidad when he was with Don King. He was in the background, little Hollywood on that, and when they started showing him, like, he's got his shades on, like he's chilling, like he's not about to fight, like he's about to go to a club. Like, what is he doing? Like, now he's chilling, and then he goes into this fight. Like, this fight is serious. I'm like, he better get his game on. But then I just seen you, like you went somewhere else throughout the fight. You went through, like, a certain journey. Yeah. I was watching you round, per punch. And I seen that you kind of, like, swayed him into your game. Yeah. And I seen that, and I was like, I see what he's doing.
And that's one thing that definitely I get from you, is that you are a boxer, absolutely. You are a boxer, you go in there and you're ready to brawl with anybody, but you also know the marketing behind boxing. Yeah. And, you go up there with a presence, and your presence is felt, When you were and we're going to show some clips off of that, at the press conference last week to announce the latest fight, you were swagged out. But I think that comes natural to you in the sense that this is who I am, even if I wasn't a boxer. Right. When you were, I know your background, and you have, history of being a singer. Right. You and your brother, and you had your R&B group. So this is natural. This is not like, it's a boxing thing. No, it's.
When are you gonna sing your own national anthem?
This is me.
You gotta sing.
No, don't do that.
Willie Monroe coming in with his own theme song.
That almost happened one time. I almost sung the national anthem.
At your own fight?
At your own fight? Yeah. That would have been something. That would have been the first right there. That would have been the first. So let me ask you a question. So in your teenage years, the first fight or the first time where you're like, because I'm sure it happened to you prior to that, but when was the moment that you knew this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
I get chills. I just got you. When I was 13.
And that's what I was thinking.
And I won my first national title. I won my first belt. I was rated #1 in the country at lightweight, when I was 13 years old. And the thing that was so great about it is it's reflective of what's going on right now. I was the least favorite to win. Yeah. I was the least favorite to win from Rochester. And then when we went, in the Silver Gloves, there's 8 regions. And Region 8 is the biggest and strongest region. They come with the most officials. They come swagged out. They have the most money. And my weight class is where they're most dominant at, because from Cali, Texas, is primarily Mexican based. So the Mexican fighters are very strong in that 119 to 139 fight bracket right there. And I was rated at 132. And the very first night, I fought somebody from Region 8 from California, this Mexican kid. And they were just like, you might as well just give it up. Yo, you fighting somebody from Region 8?
So basically throwing a towel.
Throwing a towel. He's got a bug. He ain't coming.
Yeah, leave it alone.
Not only did I beat this kid, I stopped him in the second round, and I hit him with a right hook.
By the way, how many rounds do these silver these tournaments go to?
It was 3 2-minute rounds. 2-minute rounds. This when I was 13, and I stopped him. I hit him with a right hook to something my grandfather taught me. Something I learned from a good friend, Armando Munoz.
Oh yeah, I met him the other day.
The gancho, that's what it is. I stepped to the side and hit him with a right hook to the body, and he just froze, and his hands dropped. I hit him with another right hook to the head, and the left hand put him down. He couldn't get back up. Because I put it in my mind that I'm going against one of the biggest and baddest regions right now.
You better send a message
I need to send a message. I need to let him know that I'm the biggest and baddest. put him down, and then I beat 2 more guys and walked away with the national title, the silver gloves, the belt, and everything. And that's when I knew, at that point in time is when I said, I can be special in this thing called boxing.
And that's the first time you felt it, and you saw it, and you
Exactly.
You actually you lived it.
And my favorite fighter was sitting ringside during the finals. My second favorite fighter.
I was gonna say it's Roy Jones.
Roy Jones is my number 1 favorite
Okay.
fighter. But my second favorite fighter was there, and he signed my belt. Sugar Ray Leonard was sitting ringside when I won the national title, and he signed my belt on the inside, and I still have that.
Roy's about to fight against
So
him.
that
Yeah,
Roy's fighting
28.
this. Yeah,
Saturday.
he's fighting
Saturday.
twice in 1 month.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we don't want to talk about that right now. That's still your boy though, and I still love Roy. I still love Roy. But this is the Willie Monroe show right now. So, all right. So you go ahead and you get that. It's almost to me like you feel that fire, and now it's like that rush where you're like, I need to feel this rush again. So from that point until you went professional, how many fights did you have between, amateur? How many amateur fights did you have
I
altogether?
had about
You estimate?
another 60, 70 fights maybe.
60, 70 fights.
Did you say 60?
Yeah, because, well, people don't, in the amateurs, fights rack up quick because you fight the tournaments. So when I fought the silver gloves, the states, I had to win the states to get to the regionals. The states was 2 days. Then a month later we went to the regionals, that was 2 days.
Yeah.
Then a month later we went to the nationals, that was 3 days. A single elimination tournament. So over the course of 3 months I fought 7 times. So fights rack up quickly now.
And then that's how
Oh my
boxing
God.
works. So it's not
Yeah.
just you. That's how
Yeah.
boxing works. That's
And
how
when
it
you
works.
know that when you're fighting 2 or 3 tournaments a year, you're thinking that's from states, regionals to nationals. That's 7 fights per tournament. 3 of those a year. That's 21 fights a year.
Yeah.
What was your record at the end of your amateur career?
I had 142 fights. I had 128 wins, 14 losses, 72 knockouts.
Which is not.
Wow.
That's impressive. And then that's definitely
We almost
something.
made the 2008 Olympic team, and I lost to who's a welterweight champion. Well, he just lost the title, but Sean Porter. I lost to him in the Olympic the finals of the qualifiers. We were all in the brackets together. Me, myself, Jonathan Nelson, Jason Estrada, Rodriguez. That's one of my really good boys. Edwin Rodriguez, really good fighter. His only loss is to Andre Ward, actually.
Which is not a bad person to lose to.
Jillian Love. We were all right there at
Jillian
165
Jillian
together.
fights with Mayweather.
Mayweather now.
Yeah, he
He
fights
got
with
signed
Mayweather.
to Floyd.
So
All
that-
of those guys are there. Terrence Crawford was in the amateurs. I was there when Terrence Crawford beat Danny Garcia. I think it was in the PALs. We were all like little kids. I was there
Well,
like 16,
which
17.
which we have some history here, and I know that Hector Cruz got to fight
that's
Floyd
nice.
Mayweather.
Yeah, he fought Floyd.
Yeah,
Him and his brother were standout amateurs.
They were, and I remember
yeah.
I went to school with Alex.
Oh, you went to school?
Yeah,
Yeah.
East Side. So we're a little bit older. I know I'm aging.
I was
myself
with them
now.
when you was fighting that
But-
one fight.
but
I
yeah.
was with, the Cruz brothers were tripping out, man.
Yeah.
Yo, they were like, Alex and Hector were like gods when we were coming
Yeah,
up.
you know what's
They
crazy
were-
is that
they were out there
I
doing their
asked
thing.
them, they used to have a room full of trophies,
Right.
especially Alex, a room, literally. He's like, I don't even know where my trophies are anymore.
I
I think my mom got like 2 or 3, but I don't know where they're at.
I went on the Scandinavian tour and won in Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and I did it because I said, I'm gonna do like Alex did, because Alex went and won the Scandinavian tour, went to Sweden, Finland, and Denmark, and won the gold medal. And I was like, Alex did. I'm gonna be the next one to
That's
do
what I do
it.
it.
Yeah,
And
man.
you did it.
Yeah, I did.
And that's it. That's the motivation comes within, man. And I think, I watch you and I see your progression over this last year.
Mm-hmm.
Over this last year, because you sat with us, not at this table, not in this set,
Right.
but at our other set, Real Talk 360, and you had just came off of winning the very first round in the Boxino tournament. And I remember at that time we talked, and now I'm going to fast forward a little bit, because at that time we talked, and you were an underdog, which you've been most of your career, the underdog, right? And we talked that day, and I remember we talked, man, and I remember, how you were feeling, and you were like, I'm gonna be good, and I know that we were like, yeah, he's gonna be good, but how did things change, like from that day to the point where you actually won the Boxino tournament? What did that do for you? Physically, mentally, emotionally, what did that do? What did that tournament do for you?
You know what? The tournament kept me busy, mentally and spiritually, and it kept me in a spot to deal with my grandfather's death.
Which I know was a little bit before that.
My grandfather passed away maybe 5 months before the Boxino
it was
started.
September.
And I was grateful for. I mean, I actually won a minor title, smaller title, 2 weeks after he passed away. Won 2 belts, my first 2 belts, and then right after that, I was in camp with my boy Nick Brenton, who's from Geneva.
Yeah.
I came out of that, was home for a couple weeks, and I went into camp with Austin Trout. Then I came off of that and ended up landing in the Boxino.
Oh.
So it kept me busy and kept me on my toes and kept me in a spiritual mindset of having to stay close to God. And because I'll let you know it about my grandfather, it didn't hit me hard until after the tournament was over. And it was kind of sad to have to come home with those belts and not be able to put them in his hand. So it hit me a little hard after the tournament, but I've lived a life of drive, and I've always been able to take a situation that's not so happy and use it to drive me. So I think in those moments, not just winning Boxino, but fight by fight and staying focused and living the dream that my grandfather talked about, that him and his dad, the dream that they've always wanted. To fulfill that, I mean, it just showed me that I'm worthy and that this is my calling. This is what I should be doing.
And I think by now, yeah.
I
think, I'm thinking you're good
It
with
is
this
giving
boxing
me a
thing.
sense of confidence. It's giving me, a lot more confidence, especially after the Darnell Boone loss, because I lost a split decision to Darnell Boone, and a lot of things happened. A lot of people walked away.
The Boxino tournament.
Well, hold up real quick. He just touched on something that I actually mentally skipped over.
Right.
Darnell Boone, first loss.
Right.
First loss in your professional career.
Mm-hmm.
That was before Boxino.
That was way before Boxino.
Yeah,
That was actually
2011.
March 29, 2011.
Yeah.
And you lost that fight.
Right.
He was 17-3.
Right.
So you're expected to win. You're expected, right? This is like it's supposed to be, but he turned out to be a little bit better.
Right.
It was unanimous decision, right? So it went, split decision.
Split.
Decision. What did that do to you?
It took me to a place where I believe, hearing me talk, you can tell I'm spiritual. And
Yeah, no, I know that.
I think when you pray and you ask God for certain things, God is almost like, sort of has a sense of humor, like, oh, that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to see how bad you want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're about to see just how, because, you praying, you fasting, you saying you want it, but I'm about to take you through what it takes to be what you're saying you want to be. And I think I followed up like a champ. I stayed faithful, I stayed training, I stayed in the gym for a year and a half.
A lot of people would have quit.
Yeah, I've heard plenty of fighters and different people say they lost the opportunity and they just never got back. I stayed in the gym like there was a fight. And I have to thank my boy TJ, because he gutted his whole garage.
I know, I heard about it. Amy was telling me about
He
that.
gutted his whole garage and put walls up and made a gym. And we
In
fought.
the garage. That was the original Fight Factory.
That was the original Fight Factory. He still has it.
Shouts out to Fight Factory
Shouts out to
because
Fight
they
Factory,
definitely doing their
TJ.
thing. That tournament last week was off the hook.
Oh yeah,
So
the fights,
yeah, that was dope. That was dope.
He still gives me the keys and just like, look, whenever you need some privacy, go back over to the old gym and train. But we fought 5 fights out of that gym with hardly no sparring or anything, and we worked our way up, to Boxino.
Yeah.
So I think, like my grandfather used to tell me, if you want to be extraordinary, you got to use extraordinary methods. When God is put you in a position to be an extraordinary individual, a standout individual, He has to take you through extraordinary standout trials and tribulations to better prepare you. And I have to thank Mercedes Vasquez with Pretty Girl Promotions.
That lady over there?
That lady right there.
That lady right there?
Make sure y'all show up to the fight. Somebody zoom in.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. We're gonna make sure we put that on.
Yeah.
April 18th at the Armory, Throwdown at the Armory 3, and we're gonna have her on before her boxing event goes on. But definitely, yeah, Mercedes gets so much love. So much love, so much respect for what she's done for boxing, and obviously right now for what she did,
Yeah, because my first 2 comeback fights was on her card.
And I remember one of them, and that fight was off the hook, man, against
Russell Jordan.
Jordan.
That was probably the biggest promotion that Rochester has had. The biggest crowd. So many people came out.
Not the one at Salem?
No,
that was the one at Armory.
The
first one at the Armory.
Packed to the brim.
Yo,
first
it
one,
was
I've been
knockout
telling
after knockout.
Yeah,
this
man.
thing was intense,
Yeah,
and it culminated
Yeah.
with you and Russell going at it.
I never felt. It's rare that you feel that type of energy. The energy I felt that night was like, on my way to the ring, man, I got warm chills. It felt like every hair on my body was standing up, and it was just like, you know, it wasn't a championship fight, but it was like, yo, this
but
is
it felt like
fight.
it. Oh yeah,
this is the title fight for Rochester.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Rochester natives.
And I think it prepares you. It prepares you for other fights because once you're comfortable, once you feel like the ring is my home, you know, the ring is the ring no matter where you go. So I think it's just being able to channel that feeling and being able to have that feeling. And of course, if you have people yelling easy work in the background and you have people yelling Willie, that's going to help you even more. But it's still being able to be in that place and be able to take that place wherever you go. Because now, you know, you've been going different places. You went to Indiana for the first part of Boxino. Now you came back to Turning Stone, which Turning Stone is home. But it's not home. You know, it's close enough to home. But you
a
did
lot
your
of
thing.
fighters don't even have the privilege to be fighting in their own hometown.
Yeah, that's
a lot of
guys.
A lot of them, you know, they're fighting little small towns that they don't have. We're fortunate enough to have Mercedes, you know, to step out of the shadows and say, you know what, I'll do it.
I'm gonna do it. Absolutely.
When we had some stuff happening in Frontier before, and when Alex used to fight, and I remember, you know, hearing about it, I missed them. I kept saying, yeah, I'm gonna go, and I never went, but that stopped. It all ended, and we didn't have any boxing here. And then Mercedes came through, and luckily, because then, you know, you got to, you know, fight in front of your hometown.
And you have to give it to Mercedes being a female, putting on a better promotion than the previous promotions.
And that's the thing. It's gotten to the point now. When I look at Mercedes, you know, I consider her a good friend. That's my homegirl. You know, but at the same time, I look at it. It's like, you know what? It's not Mercedes La Latina or Mercedes the woman. It's Mercedes.
No, you know what I don't like about her? She makes it look too easy.
Well, you know what?
She's like, you know what? She's like, you know what? Yeah, just put that on, all right?
Easy work.
Just put that on.
But I know, and I know that she knows it's a lot of hard work. You know, just
absolutely.
That's when you do a great job, just like you make boxing look easy in the ring, but no one knows the training you go through. So right now, I mean, we're gonna fast forward a little bit more. All right. So you won the Boxino tournament. You're the champion. Teddy Atlas didn't give you a shot in hell. Excuse the word, but Teddy Atlas did not give you a shot at all. And Teddy Atlas is now, seems to me, like one of your biggest fans. Because every time I hear him talk, and he's always talking about, Willie Monroe, and, you know, and against Brian Vera, he bigged you up. How was that fight? Because that to me was your first, even though you fought quality opponents like Brandon Adams, you fought Vitaly Kopalenko, but it seemed to me like Brian Vera was your first. I mean, he had just come off of nearly beating Chavez Jr. at one point.
Well, the first fight, he beat Chavez Jr.
and they took it away from him. He fought Sergio Mora. He fought Andy Lee.
Knock Andy Lee out.
So these are good boxers, and now you're in the ring with them. And I remember myself, I was a little worried because I'm like, damn, this is a step up for Willie right here. How is he going to handle the adjustment? But then it was that Turning Stone, so it was home. How did that feel for you, though, as a boxer, and as, you know, what did that say to you?
It said to me that there's still a lot about myself that I haven't found out yet.
Okay.
Because, you know, I always push myself to the limit. I always push myself to the limit and beyond. You know, like, you know, sometimes my trainer, they'll tell me, like, you know, you're freaking amazing. I don't, you know, we ask you to do one more round, you give us 4 more rounds. You know, we ask you to give us 10 more punches around, you give us 40 more punches around. Like, and like I said, that's just how I was raised. That's how my grandfather taught me. And that fight just taught me that I think my possibilities and my level of talent and my work ethic, it's endless. You know, like, I took myself to a place that I've never been, that I've never taken myself in training camp for that fight. And I knew I was fighting. I had a lot going against me. So you got to think about it. When you look at, like you said, we get boxing, okay, you beat a couple good guys, but that was in a tournament. It's kind of not expected because I was an underdog, but it's like, okay, now we're out of the tournament.
Yeah,
now it's contender status. Can you handle this?
Now you want to get somebody that is the gatekeeper. They call him the gatekeeper.
I mean, you're looking at and he knocked Andy Lee out.
And Andy Lee's a tough.
Andy Lee is WBO middleweight champion right now, which I'm rated number 3 for that belt.
Yeah, so
he beat Sergio Mora twice.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
He's no slouch.
I mean, he was on Contender. He beat Chavez, and they took it from him. Bondaroga, the guy that I got a decision over, he knocked him out. So going into the fight, in my mind, I was like, dang, he beat Darnell Boone, the guy that I lost a split decision to. So it's like, okay, he does have a little more success over our common opponent, but styles make fights. Can he handle Willie Monroe Jr. tonight? And I said, you know what? He's going to have to deal with the full onslaught of the mongoose tonight. I'm going to be there. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to hit. He's not going to be able to hit me. I'm going to razzle and dazzle. I'm gonna slip and slide and have fun tonight. And that's exactly what I did.
And that's what we seen in the footage when we introduced you, was just that, man. And I remember that fight, man. I remember sitting there, because, we ringside, thankfully. We got a pretty good hookup, so we get to be, especially
I want to thank you for taking me along
especially
with
in
him,
your corner. He wasn't there, he's mad. But Milton was there. And it was just, just watching the fight, man, and just seeing the progression round through round. And, when most would expect you to slow down, or when most would expect you to maybe let your guard down a little bit, it seemed like you just got stronger and stronger. And I was fortunate enough to sit right in back of Harold Letterman.
Oh, yeah.
He was like right in front of me.
Yeah.
Harold Letterman was in front of me.
Did you get his brain?
We did to a certain extent, but I was so focused on you that I'm like, you know what? But still, he was there, and we did talk a little bit, and he told me, he's like, you know what? I love this kid, Willie Monroe. He's awesome, and to see you, get stronger and stronger. And then when Brian Vera, I want to say it was like the 6th, 7th round, when he took that cheap shot on you, when you slapped up gloves. Yeah. He slapped up gloves, and he kind of he took a shot. And after that, it seemed like you really turned it on.
Oh, yeah, turned it on.
So what went through your mind as a friendly gesture, right? It's a friendly gesture. Everybody does it.
Right.
And the next thing you know, he just tried to sucker punch you.
Did you take that as disrespectful?
I took it very disrespectful, but at the same time, the number one rule in boxing is protect yourself at all times. Mm-hmm. If the round is going and the
Ortiz and Mayweather
box,
Victor Ortiz right at the hard way.
Gloves and you get knocked out, that's your fault. Mm-hmm. The round is going to protect yourself at all times. But, Willie Monroe Jr. has a chin. Sorry to speak in third person, but I have a chin.
No, that's all right.
And if you want to beat me, it's probably better to be nice, because then I'll probably be nice back. Because once you turn it up, I take it 100,000 trillion. You feel what I'm saying? And I almost stopped him after he hit me with that shot.
I seen it.
But
you dazed him. You dazed him bad.
I was just like, don't disrespect me.
No doubt.
I'm a gentleman. Don't think I won't turn up just because I'm a nice person. Yeah. Don't take this soft spoken and being articulate and charismatic, as a joke. Yeah. When it's time to turn up, these hands get busy.
That's what you do. So, that's your natural instinct, right there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's instinct of a true fighter. You know what I mean? I've been hit, I've been rocked, or I've been hit with something disrespectful.
Who hit you the hardest?
Now it's my turn. The hardest I've been hit.
That was like, whoa, I think I just seen my mother.
Hold on, sparring or a fight?
Fight.
No, but even with sparring, even sparring. I know
you think you got harder in sparring?
You told me Cotto.
Because I sparred with Miguel Cotto, man, and that was a power that I probably never felt, man. And not only that, if you know anything about obviously you guys are Puerto Rican, but if you know anything about authentic Puerto Rican or Cuban boxing, they're not just taught to punch. They're taught punch placement. This is something my grandfather taught me. You hit a guy in the right spot, it doesn't even take enough power, a lot of power. Hit a guy in the right spot. And Cotto, from his uncle, was taught punch placement. His punch placement is perfect. And his left hook to the body is, oh my goodness. He caught me with a left hook to the body. By the time I got to the end of camp, I was taking him a little better. But he caught me right on that hip, right on that hip flexor, man. For about a week, man. Every time
he told me that. You were like, I didn't want to sit. I didn't want to move the wrong way.
I couldn't sleep the right way. I was just like, man, this dude just hit me. But then I said, you know what? I learned from that. I said, if it hurts like that, maybe I need to use it. So as far as, Cotto's very, very, very strong, man. He's a very strong puncher.
What do you think was his downfall with Mayweather? I have my opinion on that because I know he hits hard. My opinion on that is speed. If he was able to keep it with the speed of with Mayweather, and, because Mayweather danced around a lot. I think if he was able to catch it with the speed,
it's not even the speed because Miguel Cotto's fast and he's deceptively fast. He's very real like Floyd is like the way Floyd moves lets you know he's fast.
Yeah.
Cotto was very, very smooth, very suave, and bang, you're hit. So his movement, though, is like, okay, maybe he's not as fast as you think.
He's like a striker.
Yeah, he's very, his movement doesn't match his speed, which makes him faster with timing.
He's methodical.
So, yeah, not very methodical. He's a little more smooth.
Okay.
And then he explodes, where with Floyd's always set to explode, so you can expect that. With Cotto, he's not always, with the way he looks when you're in there sparring with him, he doesn't like he's ready to explode, then he explodes. So it throws you off. The movement doesn't match the speed and velocity of the punch, so it throws you off.
Gotcha.
I think the thing that probably could have helped him in the Floyd Mayweather fight was when he hit Floyd and hurt Floyd, should have used his jab more and then backed up just a little bit, because Floyd has that killer instinct also. If you catch Floyd something, I got to get you back. But Floyd fights better on the defense. So catch him with something,
Let him come back
let
at
the
you.
judges see it, use your jab, take a half step back. Now put him on the offense. Don't get me wrong, he's great offensively, but he's better when he's being pressed.
Yeah.
So now that he's pressing the offense, you become the counter puncher, and then counter his counters, and then know when to. This is where boxing IQ comes in at. Know when to counter, know when to press, know when to pull back, know when to move. You feel what I'm saying? That's what IQ comes in at. But I'm pretty sure Cotto was more thinking, I gotta press the issue a little bit more and stay in his chest because we're in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, he's in his
You know,
hometown.
And you know, Miguel Cotto and as of late, Miguel Cotto and Zab Judah was like the toughest fights I've seen.
And Zab is nasty because Zab also brought it to Mayweather.
Yeah.
And Zab, if it wasn't for that low blow, Zab, you know,
the first 4 rounds, Zab was winning.
Yeah, Zab was winning that. So,
but Floyd understood that Zab was going to get tired after 7 rounds.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean Mayweather's conditioned to go like 30 rounds or something.
And that was the thing right there. So now we're gonna fast forward a little bit more. So we went through, you know, the amateurs. We went up through some of the professionals, especially the highlight, you know, of, I wouldn't say highlight, but still, I think it was the make it or break it point.
Right.
When you lost your first fight, you moved forward, you pushed forward, you had people in your corner, others left, right? Others bounced, and that's fine because you know what? Not everybody's meant to take that trip with you. Not everybody's meant to take that. That's okay. That journey is your journey.
And more changes are going to happen throughout your journey.
And you ended up, to me, it seems like coming across other people that ended up helping your journey. So that's great. So we fast forward through that. We get to the Boxino tournament. Boom. You win that. Now you go to Brian Vera, who's supposed to be your toughest challenge. And I remember specifically ESPN breaking it down. I remember Dan Raphael, who's the biggest boxing analyst for ESPN, breaking it down and basically said, Brian Vera is the gatekeeper. If you want to get into that realm, if you want to get into that where people now look at you this way, if you lose to Brian Vera, that's not a good look. But if you beat a Brian Vera, now you're in. You're in. You're welcome to the family. You did that. No problems. I turned to Harold. I did it classic. Harold Letterman, how do you have to have the 10 rounds? I recorded him. I got this recorded. I got it 9 rounds to 1. Willie Monroe Jr. And it was like surreal because I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. As a boxing fan, I'm not a boxer, but as a boxing fan, it just felt good not only to be able to do that, but to know that that moment I was doing it for somebody that I actually know, respect, and have love for. So you did that. You did your thing. We fast forward a little bit more. Tim, if you can cue for me the footage that I put down on Will's interview, it should be the next one in line. All right, so I'm going to cue some footage real quick. And I want to look at this, right? And this footage right here. What were you thinking at this moment, right? This is what you're saying. This is March 2nd of 2015. So we're talking about this month, earlier this month. This is what you said. We got you. You know, you can't hide from the camera. This is what you said.
Expand it, please.
All right. Yeah, that's it.
It's a bunch of fights that could be made. I mean, I know a lot of people are gonna give me a lot of crap, man. But the road, I'm on the road to Triple G. I don't really sit out here and call names, but I'm on the road to Triple G. That's the thing I'm looking for. That's the person I'm looking forward to fighting at the top. You know, it's gonna take a couple fights, but that's the direction I'm heading in because he's a main man. He's a big puncher, man, and a lot of people gonna want to see how he fares with somebody like me. I like to see if he can hit Willie Monroe Jr.
Put it right there.
Man, people.
Right there. That's all we need to see right there. So here we are on March 2nd, 2015. You're being interviewed, right? And this was at the Mohegan Sun, you said?
Mohegan Sun. Yeah, because I did to support Brandon Adams.
Brandon Adams fighting for the Boxino tournament 2015. And they interview you, and you, as always, cool, calm, collective. You know, they ask you the question, you're going to answer. You say, I know people are going to give me slack, or they're going to give me flack for this, but I want to fight Triple G. Maybe not now, but 2 to 3 fights.
My question is why?
No. Not the why.
I want to know why.
You're fighting Triple G on May 16th. Not in 2 or 3 fights.
My very next
Your
fight.
very next fight. We're talking about 2 weeks after you said that. So to me, and I posted this on Instagram and Facebook, you spoke it into existence.
Yeah.
Because it happens.
Why did you pick him first, though?
How did that happen?
Before that, why Triple G? Why did you personally say, this is the guy I want to call out? I don't call nobody out, but if I want to do it,
and he didn't really call him out, though. He just said, if anybody that can fight next.
I said, you know, like they said, oh, who would you like to fight? And I said, you know, people are going to give me slack, but I'm on the road to Triple G.
On the road?
You know, is my subliminal way of saying, that's the road I want to take, the road less traveled. You know, you have all these other middleweights, and we can't play stupid. Boxing is split right down the middle. You're either on this side with one network and some promoters, or you're on this side with another network and these promoters. And decide where probably the most, you know, where there'll be good middleweight fights.
An opportunity.
All of them are supposedly scared of Triple G. They're not, when Triple G comes up, or you have some of them who know that because I'm signed to this guy and I'm on this side of the fence, I'll never fight Triple G. So yeah, I call him out. Yeah, I'll fight Triple G.
But you know you're not going to get there anyway. Yeah.
But you just want to talk big. Like I said, me, I'm signed to Artie Palullo with Banner Promotions, where I sit right on the middle of the fence. I'm in a prime position. We could go left or right. We're not signed to a select network. Artie has guys fighting on both sides. Mm-hmm. It's equal opportunity.
And you said that before in an interview.
Yeah,
you said we're in a perfect position.
You know, I don't want to go crazy and say any names, but there are certain promoters that you'll never see on HBO. There are certain advisors and managers that you'll never see on HBO. Yeah. There are certain promoters and managers and advisors that you'll never see on Showtime.
It's a business.
Just because of, but you have somebody like Artie Palullo who sits right in the middle. It's equal opportunity.
And I understand that, but my question is, when no one's doing it, why Willie Monroe?
I got to be the first to do this, man.
All right.
I got to, you know what I mean? Like, it's so many guys, like I said, that call them but don't really want it. I got to go see what the hype is about. I'm the type of dude that if you're the biggest and the baddest and you holding it down, you're supposed to be top dog. I need to see just how bad you are.
Yeah.
And if you're that bad, when the fight is over, I'll give you your props. You're a bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not that bad, then give me them belts. Because they belong.
They belong.
Strapped over here, you feel what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, man. You just talked about Cotto being one of the hardest punches that you got. And Triple G called Miguel Cotto out. Right. Called him out. He didn't beat around the bush. He said, I want to fight Miguel Cotto. And Miguel Cotto was like, no, you wait. I'll let you fight me when I'm ready for you. So basically, in a nutshell, in boxing, to me, I look at that as you're not ready. He wasn't ready to do that. But then Willie Monroe steps up, right? Things happen. Right. Toriano Johnson ended up getting whatever happened with their negotiation.
I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys the secret with that. No, go ahead.
But yeah, this happens, and then now you go from potentially fighting him. You were gonna be fighting under the Matisse Provodnikov fight at Turning Stone on April 18th, which is the same day as Mercedes thing. And you were probably going to fight Sergio Mora if it would have worked out.
We were hoping to get it because it's a Golden Boy Banner promotion cars. Yeah. He's Golden Boy on Banner.
So it would have worked out. Everything would have worked out. The stars would have aligned just right for you to make that fight.
Right.
But then the universe just shifted. Right? The universe completely said, I'm going this way now. Right. And now you're going to fight Triple G. Right. So how did that happen? Like that is just, you don't just wake up one day and Artie Palullo calls you and says, hey, by the way, you're fighting Triple G, so you good? All right, let's go. What happened?
It had a lot to do with that interview.
Good.
Twitter, you know.
Twitter's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Like I said, I don't formally call anyone out, but when people come and say, are you serious about fighting Triple G? I'll tweet back, I'm very serious. They're naming Triple G, they're calling him the new Marvin Hagler. And ironically, who beat Marvin Hagler?
Who beat Marvin?
There's some irony in there for him, you know what I'm saying?
And I look at things coming full circle, bro. I honestly look at things coming full circle because that was something that you had posted when you were like, who's the person that really, truly beat Marvin Hagler? Think about that. Let that sink in. I'm going to go to the gym now.
Hashtag, I'm on my way to the gym.
I'm on my way to the gym, right? So you did that. But even if we look at what you just talked about, Brian Vera being the gatekeeper, he beat a lot of the guys that were expected to beat you, that you beat. And you come through, boom, you beat Brian Vera. So all these things kind of like, to me, like I said, the universe shifted in your favor. And here you are. So Twitter, okay, but it can't be just Twitter.
That's prayers and belief. You know, before I fought, after Boxino, I told myself, I said, you know what? We get back in the gym, everything we're doing is geared to Triple G. I don't care if I got to fight 5 people to get to him. I won't look past any opponent. So I would wake up every morning, I would pray, and I would say, I'm going to be the first person to beat Triple G. I would be in the gym, every workout is Triple G.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry for you. You do that, man.
Right.
I'm gonna be watching. I'm like, you know what?
You
You do that. Your victory is our victory. I'm telling you, man. It's God's victory. I'm gonna be like, yo, he did it.
Honestly,
just by believing in yourself.
Honestly, right now, I feel the fact that you got this fight, you've already won.
Yeah.
I think you already won. You don't have nothing to lose, everything to gain, the world to gain, because of the fact that right now, and we're gonna put it out there because this is real talk. The last time I looked, you're like an 80-to-1 underdog.
Yeah, I know.
Last time I looked, 80-to-1 underdog. So I bet him $100. I won 8,000 by betting on you. So best believe I'm betting about 1,000 on you. So I'm gonna get rich. I'm gonna buy a house off of this.
Trying to get.
All right, but this is the reality of it, right? Nobody's giving you a shot, but you know what? Critics could say everything they want. Us as boxing fans, we could say whatever we want. You know, I'm a football fan. I'm gonna deviate real quick. When we went up against the New England Patriots, everybody said, you know what? Giants don't stand a chance. You're going up against the best ever. Got beat. Let's go back to boxing. Cheeto Trinidad, who I talked to you earlier, my favorite boxer before Cotto. Favorite boxer. Tito Trinidad went in there against Winky Wright, he was good, but he wasn't great. And Winky Wright upset him. I honestly, the day you took this fight, bro, I felt like, you know what? This has the same kind of drama, same type of chemistry as that. So what do you say to that odds maker that said 80-to-1? What do you say to all those people that don't know you personally or don't know the kind of work that you put into this? Because you put work. You train when there's nothing to train for, right? You run when there's nothing to run for. You spar when there's nothing to spar for. You're in the game all the time. So what do you say to those? I don't want to call them critics. I think they're future fans. They don't know it yet. They just don't know it yet. So with everything that's your back's against the wall, what do you say? Like,
thank you, because now you put me back in my element. They're gonna get the real Willie Monroe Jr. I love when my back is against the wall. I love when I'm the underdog and like they always say, hate is confused admiration. So now after this fight, you won't be too much more confused about the admiration you have for me. And all I can say is thank you. I mean, it's whether it's negative or positive energy that makes you want to get up and take something, it's about how you use it. If you let the positive energy drive you, or if you turn the negative energy into positive energy and let it drive you, that's a special individual. This is things that your John Elways, your Peyton Mannings, your Michael Jordans, your Deion Sanders.
Well, your Russell Wilsons, for all that matter, when you want to put it like that. Who expected him to be a Super Bowl champion and just become the quarterback that he is right now? And that's what hard work, man.
So you're talking about this is what makes champions.
Yeah, you can't you can't have a great story without some great mountains. You know what I'm saying? If David didn't beat Goliath, what would be so special about that story? You know what I'm saying? If Goliath would have beat David, sure you beat him.
Expected
30 million times bigger than him.
Yeah, exactly.
But in this case, this is what makes a great story. This is stuff that I'll be able to sit down and tell kids and inspire them. You know what I mean? The story of what I'm about to do, this victory that I have coming up will inspire other people to say, I don't care if I have all the odds against me. Willie Monroe could do it. He showed that he could do it, and he did it in exceptional fashion. I can do it.
We've had this conversation a lot. So we've been talking. This is all we've been talking about is doing this fight, and it's funny because I heard about it before he did through some channels.
Yeah, unofficially.
And I when he told me, I was like, yeah, I heard about that. It's official, isn't it? He goes, yeah. So we've been talking about it. I said, you know what? Willie don't got to win to win. Willie don't got to win to win. When Willie shows up,
man, but
I'm just saying though,
and that's what I said. That's the debate that we've had because of the fact that I honestly don't feel like you have anything like you already won. But I don't know what it is, man. I feel it just.
It's just like Sugar Ray Leonard when he fought Hagler. Sugar Ray Leonard came off a 2-year layoff. He hadn't fought. He was fighting the baddest man in boxing. Just to fight this man off a 2-year layoff and you haven't been in the ring, you didn't look so good in your first comeback. That was a win in itself to come back and fight a Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand where you're coming from.
And we look at Triple G, who wants to stay active, 4 fights in 1 year. So he fought Martin Murray in Morocco in February. You fought in January. He didn't look, to me, that great as a fan. He didn't look that great. Took him 11 rounds to basically beat on an object that wasn't moving. We know Willie Monroe does not stay still. You don't stay still. I don't want to attribute it to a disease that a lot of people, but you in the ring have ADHD where you can't stay still. You're not staying still, but you're focusing the whole time. You're focused the whole time. So here you are fighting this guy who just came off of a win against somebody who I would have thought he would have just been able to breeze through. And now you're fighting him, and you're not that type of boxer. You don't sit there and take punishment. You know how to move. So how does that, without giving away too much, because I'm sure one way or another, this is social media. We don't want anything to get the Triple G's camp. We don't want to get the Triple G's camp, though, so I don't want to give away any secrets. But, like, what does it take to beat Triple G?
It just takes, like I was telling everybody, it takes boxing IQ to know what to do, when to do it, and to be able to execute. Because Triple G has a pretty high IQ himself, but it's just gonna be a chess match. Like one guy said, well, how do you keep it a chess match with a guy that bullies the boards? You can't bully a chessboard. Once you try to bully a chessboard, you just downgraded the checkers. Now I'm really gonna have fun.
This ain't no triple jump.
Yeah, you can't bully the board in chess. There's no such thing as bullying the board. So if he can match wits with me in the ring, that's what it's gonna be. And a lot of people may say, well, he's done this, he's done that. How can you say he's not gonna match wits? Come that night, you'll see, because they said Ronda Rousey will be able to beat me. They put me in a 16-by-16 ring. That's a phone booth. That's a night to a boxer. I executed and made it work. They made me a 4-1 underdog with Kopalenko. I walked right through him. Brandon Adams, power puncher, was knocking everybody out. I adjusted and made my style detrimental to what they were doing. You feel what I'm saying? I use my style to impose on theirs. You feel what I'm saying? And if you're not smart enough to get out of that web, then I got you.
There you go.
And if you're smart enough to get out of that web, I got a whole bunch of other webs. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just my boxing IQ that's gonna help me. And the conventional wisdom is, Willie Monroe's gonna move. They talk about the Cuban scooter. I just told one guy, boxing was.
Did you say Cuban scooter?
School.
Oh,
Cuban school.
I like a Cuban scooter. What is that? Is that no nickname?
Yeah.
They say, that's La Cubana. That's the style of the Cuban fighters is to hit and not get hit. And people, when they hear that, they automatically think, oh, he's going to be moving. Look at Rigan Diao. Rigan Diao doesn't move a lot. He'll stand right in front of you and you can't hit him. The key is to know when Triple G makes a certain move for me to. Do I need to move or do I need to stay in the pocket? Do I need to throw a jab? Do I need to throw a left hand? Should I be moving to the right? Should I be moving to the left? What punch should I shoot? I have all of that in my arsenal, and I'm able, like you said, I got ADHD. I'm able to.
And just like how you're training for him, he's training for you. He's watching your tapes like you're watching his tapes. So the first few rounds are feelers, trying to see what kind of game plan he's coming with you, and you adjust to that. And hopefully your IQ will show up more than his will that night, and I look forward to it.
But I honestly, and how are we doing on time, Chuck? Tim, we're good?
9:13.
Still recording? Okay. So this is my thing, man. And this is the thing that I find very disrespectful. You're going to fight the fight no matter what. So the disrespect, you're going to channel that into something else. But it seems to me like he's already moved past you, right? That's what it is. He's already moved past you. I seen an interview the other day that you posted, actually, which I had to check it out, and Julio Cesar Chavez, who is Hall of Fame, actually the most winningest. He won the most. People say Mayweather retires 48. No, Chavez is the man.
He was like 80-something and over.
But the headline on that Chavez interview said Golovkin versus Cotto, and Chavez brought it back and said, wait a minute. No. We shouldn't be talking about Golovkin and Cotto. We should be talking about the fact that he has to fight Willie Monroe. And Willie Monroe Jr. is the fastest fighter, the smartest fighter that Golovkin has ever faced in his career. This is a Hall of Famer. This is somebody that's been in there and rumbled with the best. Right. Saying this, and it's not like that's your boy, right? Let's just get that off the record. Is Chavez your boy?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I was elated to be co-signed, to have a legend co-sign on behalf of Willie Monroe.
And that was a beautiful thing. So that right there, the fact that I've seen little things going up, Golovkin versus Cotto, his interviews almost seem like the press conference.
Like they're looking past.
Which actually, if you could do me a favor, play that next. There should be a Golovkin interview. It seems like, yeah, I know I'm fighting Willie Monroe Jr. next, but I'm really focusing on the next fight, the third fight this year. Does that play to your? Does that actually benefit you?
That's music to my ears.
Right.
He'll learn after this fight not to look past me, and a lot of other people will learn not to.
And that's the thing that I think, amongst other things that you got going for you, is the fact that, you know what? So you're not really focusing in on me as much as you should be. And when you slip, I'm going to be there to make sure that I capitalize off of that slip. Because he's going to slip. He's going to slip. Because somebody that doesn't, if they don't have it in their heart like that, I don't care how good he is. The talent is great. You can have, right, Muhammad Ali said it. You can have the will and the skill, but the will is going to outweigh the skill, right? And it just so happens that you're Willie Monroe, so you have the will all day.
Well, there's a will, there's a way.
There's a will, there's a way. So this is it right here, I believe, right? And it's just, let me just play this real quick. I definitely appreciate your time, Will. I know it's a little bit later, but I appreciate your time.
I'm having fun.
And all of you that are watching out there, no, that's it.
BoxingBoys.com here with Gennady Triple G Golovkin. Golovkin, talk to us about actually coming back home to California, fighting in the Forum, obviously a bigger venue than the StubHub Center. What do you expect the fans' reactions to be?
Yeah, my respect for my fans, for my friends, not my fans, for friends. I'm living last 5 years in California with my family, my training camp in Big Bear Lake, California, It's a respect. This is my second fight in California. I'm very happy.
Obviously, the fans are going to accept this fight. They're going to come out in droves, and they're going to come and see you. But a lot of people see this maybe as a step down from Martin Murray. A lot of people don't know who Willie Monroe Jr. is. What do you say to those fans?
This is, with Martin Murray, this is my first fight. I need a little bit decision for prepare for big fight. And of course, Willie Monroe, he's southpaw. I need southpaw because I want beat any style.
What do you see his southpaw style to be difficult for you this time? I know this is going to be one of the first times that you fight a southpaw fighter. What do you see different?
Yeah, difficult for everybody because right now WBO he's champion, and long time WBC Martinez, southpaw, and a lot of grand champions who has problem with southpaw.
Okay, thank you for your time, Triple G. Thank you.
So basically, something like.
This is the warm-up for him to get the
This is the warm-up to get through.
What propelled me to where I always felt I could be and where I should be.
Are you ready for that?
Deserve to be.
I'm ready for it because,
huge for your career. You know that. This is ready to take you to that side where the other half lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So mentally, spiritually, everything, are you going to be ready for that?
I know I'm be ready because I think that's why God allowed the things that happened to me to happen with the team and the loss and me having to go back to the bottom and really it gives me to know that can always happen again, and it gives me appreciation. And it's also in the midst of that time that I was off, right before that fight is when I met I'm married to now Britt. She gave me my firstborn child, Gabriel, and her daughter.
Yeah, that's your daughter.
Our daughter, Denasia, and I have a family. So I have a lot more, and we're married now. So I have a lot more to be responsible for right now than I would have if I would have made this before I met her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like being single, not much responsibility. Now I have 2 kids, I have a wife, I have a lot to protect, and I have a lot to be. I can't lose my wife, I can't lose my kids. So there's a lot of things that are going to keep me. When you say the other side, I know a lot of people are thinking the parties, the women, the blah, blah, blah.
And you don't care for that.
I've never cared for that.
It's not just much that. All the attention you're going to get, everything changes your whole life. I mean, you're going to go from you know, as they say, from who's this Willie, you're going to be a household name.
Right.
You are going to be. And looking past that and being ready, and nowhere near to compare you with this, because I sitting and interviewing with you this, the third time, mm-hmm. I generally come to appreciate you in ways, because I'm like, I know this guy, you know, I'm like, it's not someone I see on TV, it's not just from Rochester and I support him, but we've interviewed, we talked to him, who this person is, and there's no way to compare you in this one person. But the biggest failure I've seen when this one particular boxer got to see what the other side was, everything went downhill, and it was Durant when he beat Leonard, because he came in with his A game, and I still think that Leonard would have never beat him on his best day, because when Leonard fought the second time, he came back overweight. He wasn't in the gym. He wasn't doing nothing. He fought a bum, and then they fought 10 years later. There were just two bums. So there were just two old bums. All right. So I mean, it's just there's no way. I don't think that Willie Monroe's going to go down that road, but there is a whole new life that you have to prepare yourself for.
Real quick, Willie, I don't want to answer your question for you, but I'm going to compare it to something now make you financially functional. No. Why do most people, 80% to 90% of people that hit the lotto, lose it within 5 years? We tried to get you to go out. Right. Like, yo, let's go over here. Nah, let me see what's up, whatever. Right. So I think that you are not functional in your lifestyle now. So when you become middleweight of the world and you become that household name, I think if anything, it just allows you to do so much more.
And the things that I take joy in aren't stupid. Could be dangerous. I mean, skydiving could be dangerous. Yeah. The things that I find, like me and my brother, me and my brother are two peas in a pod. So after a fight, I wouldn't, come home and go party. I would take me and my brother, probably fly to Miami and go drive Lamborghinis all day. You know what I mean? That's my my enjoyment is stuff like that, or like chilling with my kids. Like I promised my kids that this year that we would definitely start a garden, because 2 years ago, me and Denasia, my daughter, we went to like Big Lots, got the whole little shovel and everything, and I showed how to plant flowers, and then the little solar lights. So we had lights all the way down the little walkway and flowers, and she loved it. You know what I mean, to see her work. So when we this year I said, look, we have a backyard, and I talked to the landlords. We're renting from it, so you can do whatever you want. I'm going to show her how to do the things that my grandparents taught me how to do. Plant certain crops, what time of year to plant them, what time of year to harvest them. Nice. Those are the things that I take pride in. You know what I mean? Those are, when I come home from a fight, it's simple things like that I look forward to. Not the party and not the, and you may see me at Ray Ray's. I got to show love at Ray Ray's.
Yeah, but I think that's you showing love.
And I know if you do if somebody catch him out of line at Ray Ray's, he's gonna pull me aside.
Well, the endorsements are gonna be flying in, and the contractual obligations to be in certain places are gonna be there. And so, I'm sure as long as you stay close to your spirit, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I think just knowing you, man, that's what gives me that feeling that, something special, something magical, something that is really life-altering is going to happen come May 16th at the LA Forum on HBO at 9 p.m. So make sure you watch.
Contractually get him to come straight to his back.
Yeah. You know what though? This is no, but check this out. Check this out. This is my belief. This is my belief. My belief is that May 16th he becomes middleweight champion of the world, and within a week to 2 weeks he's back here again, because I don't see I don't see nothing changing. And by the way, I'm going to hold you to that, because I'm going to be ringside at your fight May 16th at the LA Forum. So I will be there watching this live. I told you a year ago that when you make it and you fight on the West Coast, or you fight at a big arena, I'm going to be there. I'm holding that's my word. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be the one yelling, Willer! Easy way. He's probably going to record me again. Did you see that video that I got him in? So,
yeah, I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, but to kind of end this, man, now, because it's already, we're looking at 9:30, and I don't want to keep it going too much longer. What are your last words to your fans, to your doubters, to your family, to those that might not know who Willie Monroe Jr. is? Like, what are your last words that you have to say to them regarding not only you, but this fight that's coming up? Because obviously that's the biggest one.
All right.
A quick one.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you, and be blessed. You know, I put a status up right before I deactivated my Facebook to go into camp mode, and I think you should use every opportunity to try to get closer to God spiritually. I'm not here to change people and to convert anybody. But if you believe in God, use it as an opportunity to get closer. You know, a good friend of mine, D. Will. You know,
D. Will, man, come on.
Emoji. I always wear the emoji on my trunk.
Emoji.
Right next to my Cuban flag, it'll be, you'll see the emoji. And you know, D. Will made a great point when me and him were talking. You know, a lot of people were like, oh man, he's getting ready to fight. Yo, do you think he's, and he said, yo, how many of you guys that say that you're behind will actually just stop and pray for him? You know what I mean? Like, people don't think about that. And when you have somebody that's getting ready to, I mean, whether something good is going on in their life, whether something bad is happening in their life, instead of talking about it, when do you use their experience to actually enhance your relationship with God? Mm-hmm. So you know what? They're going through something. So I'm going to pray for them, or they're getting ready to do something big, or they're getting ready to do something extravagant. I'm going to pray for them, not only just to pray for their well-being, but use this as an opportunity to strengthen my relationship with God. So like I said, I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to, like, you know, turn anybody into a believer. But at the same time, just take that into consideration. If you think this is scary for me, and you're really behind me, say a prayer for me.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know what I mean? Don't sit here and talk about it. And use that prayer that you're saying for me to enhance your relationship with God.
And that's right there. When we're talking about that, this show, what we stand for, and who we are. Real Talk 360 is exactly what you just said right there, man. It's just, you know, support. Support doesn't mean, you know, if you can't afford to go to my fights, it's okay. You can't afford to be a prayer and a vote of confidence, and just say, you know what, Will, we believe in you. You know, and not only that, but also enhance your own spiritual journey, because you did it, you made it, I could do it. You made it so that it's something that I can grasp. I can hold on to that. You know, and I'm not going to go out and try to be middleweight champion of the world. I'm too late for that. But it makes me a little bit more willing and knowing that, you know what, the passion that I have, I can still do that. And you're going to inspire that in not only cats that's old like myself, you know, but young kids that are growing up. I know. I'm just saying, though. A little bit older than you. But the inspiration, man, the inspiration that you can get from cats like yourself, from D. Will, from cats that's in this room right now, you know, we feed off each other. Man. And energy is transferable, exactly. And it's something that we can use to not only, you know, it's not only about you being successful and bringing your family to a certain point in life. It's who you influence around you at the same time. So it's a lot bigger than just Willie Monroe Jr. But I respect you. I thank you. I know, but it's still, man, it's something that's big. One real thing that I wanted to point out that I didn't have it on the top of my mind, but the last year, because we're looking at 4 fights, right? We're looking at 4 fights that Triple G is looking at fighting or whatever. Last 4 opponents you fought were 78-12. So you went up against 4 opponents that had a combined record of 78 wins and 12 losses. Boxino tournament, you went up against 3 contenders that had a combined record of 55-4. So the odds were already almost 80-1 when you went up against your last 4 fighters. And here you did, one by one, beat every single one of them. I have no doubt that you're going to come back May 7th, May 16th at about, because it's going to be on the West Coast time, so it'll be about 6 o'clock. So I would say by about 9:30, 10 o'clock Pacific Coast time, we're going to be all looking at a brand new middleweight champion of the world.
So before I have my last question, a quick one. I want to throw in this quick thing right here. Mercedes Pretty Girl Productions, throw down at the Armory, live professional boxing, the 18th of April at 900 Main Street, the Armory.
It's right there in front of you?
There you go. It's right there. You got Red Williams, Greg Brady, Brandon Williams, Pink Cologne, Melissa Hernandez, Ruiz, Milos. I can't even,
just go to prettygirlpromo.com. You can buy tickets, get all the information, you get everything right there.
3300273 or visit prettygirlpromo.com. My last question to Willie Monroe, obviously, is to the fight that's coming up, the big one. Your thoughts, the outcome, and why?
Good question.
Well, you know I'm going to pick Floyd.
What round, the outcome, and I'm sure I know why, but
if Floyd doesn't stop, I don't. I see if Floyd stops him. I see Floyd stopping him late. I'm talking like real late, like end of the 11th, beginning of 12th. But he may just. But I see. Conventional wisdom shows that I think he's gonna give Floyd. He's not gonna give Floyd trouble, but it's gonna be a little weird for Floyd the first 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah.
But one thing Floyd is good at, and this is something that I like about myself. Floyd, Andre Ward, Adesanya Lara, Rigan Diallo, all these great fighters, is they're good at collecting data and seeing what they're working with and then applying. Like a couple rounds come out, test the water, see what's going on, and then like, I know what I got to do now, and execute. So I think after about 3 rounds, 4 rounds.
You don't think it's going a distance?
If it goes a distance, if it goes a distance, Floyd's going to win.
What are you calling it though?
I'm calling an 10th or 11th round stoppage. I think Floyd's going to stop him.
All right. Yeah. What do you call it?
I'm going the same way, and I'm thinking that Mayweather's going to put a hurting on Manny Pacquiao.
I'm gonna go the opposite side. I'm gonna go controversial decision in the 12th. Manny Pacquiao.
All right. So
controversial decision.
There we have it, folks. If you can cue up the Real Talk 360 outro, if we have that, Tim. No, we don't have that. So cue back in the intro, and we are going. This is what we do. Is Real Talk 360.
Yo, one more thank you to Big Willie Monroe and Mongoose Jr.
So make sure you all tune in May 16th, HBO, live from the LA Forum. We're bringing back the belt, the middleweight championship belt, to The Rock.
Behind the
585. We're here. Thank you, Willie Monroe Jr.
God
and
bless.
Mongoose.
Good night.
I love you.
Bring it home, baby. Bring it home. Thank you so much, man.
Okay, cool.
I haven't got it. You haven't got no, that's fine. You can play the outro. Play the outro again. Oh, so I'm going back.
Oh, friend? Yeah.
Oh, good job. Why don't you get a picture? Your parents on there. Your dad needs to know.
She all right.
Not missing it.
Yeah, I'm home for another weekend. 6 weeks of training.
Where do you want to train at?
Back in Florida.
Okay.
Orlando area. Always a blessing, man. That's perfect.
All right. There you go. Cool. All right. And before you leave, we're going to pray for you. Let's do that. You guys want to get in? We'll wait for Lily to come back.
You got it? Oh, you made that?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, cool. Tank top? That was me. Cool. I just had my self-photo shirt on today.